Attention passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. The latest news indicates something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on the Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family, and let's help each other reach 8,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, we all know that the NFL trade deadline is always that exciting, nerve-wracking period where teams scramble to make strategic moves, trying to find those hidden gems or proven stars that can push them over the edge in the playoff race. And for the Dallas Cowboys, this deadline is shaping up to be more critical than ever. The team is looking to bolster their roster, especially on defense, where they've seen some inconsistencies and injuries that could hamper their championship aspirations. The Cowboys are definitely in the hunt, and the front office is actively exploring every possibility to improve their chances. And let's be honest, the NFC East is as competitive as ever. The Eagles, the Giants, and even the Washington Commanders are all trying to carve out their own piece of the division pie. But Dallas, with their talented roster and championship pedigree, wants to make sure they stay ahead. So what are the options? Who's on the radar? Well, there's a lot to talk about, and some of the names are really intriguing. First, let's discuss the initial hopes that the Cowboys had of making a splash for Max Crosby, the star defensive end from the Raiders. Now, we all know Crosby is a game changer, an elite pass rusher who can wreak havoc on any offensive line. But as reports have indicated, the Raiders have no intention of trading him. So, that was a bit of a disappointment for Cowboys fans, hoping to see a big move. Still, that hasn't dampened Dallas's resolve to find impact players. The front office is clearly exploring multiple avenues, looking for those key pieces that could make a difference in the postseason. Now let's dive into some of the top targets that are being discussed as potential trade additions. One name that is generating quite a buzz is Alontae Taylor, the cornerback from the New Orleans Saints. Taylor was selected in the second round of the 2022 draft out of Tennessee and has shown flashes of versatility that could be invaluable for Dallas. He's entering the final year of his contract, which makes him a prime trade target. Taylor can play both in the slot and on the outside, giving the Cowboys defense even more flexibility, something that's vital in today's NFL, where positional interchangeability is king. If the Saints are not inclined to extend his deal, they might be open to trading him, especially if they're thinking about a rebuild or retooling for the future. For Dallas, adding a corner like Taylor could fill a pressing need, especially considering their secondary has been a bit inconsistent at times. His ability to cover multiple positions and his youth make him an appealing option. Plus, with the Cowboys' defensive coaching staff, known for maximizing talent, Taylor could be a real upgrade. Moving on, another intriguing name is Jalen Phillips from the Miami Dolphins. Now, Phillips is a first-round pick from 2021, and he's got a ton of talent. The Dolphins are gearing up for a potential overhaul this offseason, so Phillips might become available in the right trade package. The thing is, Phillips has had some injury issues, including a brief retirement during college, which raises some red flags. But the talent is undeniable. He's got the explosiveness, speed, and pass rushing ability that Dallas desperately needs to bolster their front seven. If the Cowboys decide to take a calculated risk and acquire Phillips, the payoff could be enormous, especially if he can stay healthy and tap into his full potential. And speaking of pass rushers, Jermaine Johnson from the New York Jets is also on the radar. After tearing his Achilles last season, Johnson has been working his way back, and this year he's shown flashes of his former self with 15 tackles, and a sack in just 4 games. The Jets are in a rebuilding phase, and Johnson's name might be floated around in trade talks. His connection with Cowboys defensive line coach Aaron Whitekin adds an interesting layer to this potential deal. Johnson is young, talented, and hungry to prove himself, and Dallas could see him as a perfect piece to complete their defensive puzzle. Now, let's talk about some of the more high-profile targets, starting with Bradley Chubb from the Dolphins. Chubb is a former North Carolina State star who has battled injuries, including a torn ACL that kept him out for most of 2024. But when he's been healthy, Chubb has shown he can be a dominant force. He's recorded 4 sacks in 7 games this year, and his ability to disrupt the backfield is exactly what the Cowboys need to complement their existing pass rush. The challenge, of course, is acquiring him. Chubb's talent and experience make him a desirable target, but the Dolphins might be hesitant to part ways with him given his potential. And then, of course, we come to the crown jewel on the Cowboys' wish list. Will McDonald 4. Now, McDonald was the 15th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, and he's been nothing short of impressive in his second season. After a breakout year in 2024, he racked up 28 tackles, 10.5 sacks, and forced 2 fumbles. That kind of production is exactly what Dallas needs to boost their pass rush and create more pressure on opposing quarterbacks. McDonald has that burst off the edge, that relentless motor, and the youth to be a cornerstone for years to come. Acquiring him would be a major coup and could significantly impact Dallas's playoff chances. But of course, making these trades isn't just about picking names and offering draft picks. It's about evaluating the fit, the cost, and whether the team's chemistry will be maintained. The Cowboys' front office is known for being meticulous, and they're likely weighing all these factors carefully. The trade deadline is a high-stakes chess game, and Dallas is ready to make bold moves if it means improving their roster. As we look at the bigger picture, it's worth mentioning that the team's defense has been solid, but not at the elite level they aspire to. The NFC is loaded, and in the playoffs, every possession counts. A game-changing pass rusher or a shutdown corner could be the difference between a deep run and an early exit. The Cowboys have a talented core, but they recognize the importance of adding that extra piece. Someone who can turn the tide in close games. Someone who can provide that crucial pressure on the quarterback or shut down a key receiver. And let's not forget, the team's current season has been a roller coaster. There have been moments of brilliance, some frustrating lapses, and a lot of close games that could go either way. The front office knows that to truly contend, they need to be aggressive, especially now as the playoff picture becomes clearer. The moves they make in these final days before the deadline could define their entire season and set the tone for what's to come. What's really exciting is that Dallas fans are also part of this process. You see, the passion, the energy, and the belief in this team are what make this franchise special. Whether it's the incredible support during tough times or the unwavering hope for another championship, the Cowboys Nation is always ready to rally behind their team. And that's why these trade rumors, these potential moves, are so important. They're about building a team that can bring that cherished 6th Lombardi trophy back to Arlington. So, as we get closer to the deadline, keep your eyes glued to the news, your ears tuned for updates. The Cowboys are definitely in the mix, and it's going to be fascinating to see what they pull off. Whether it's a blockbuster trade or a strategic low-key addition, one thing is for sure, this team is not settling. They're determined to make a statement and push for another Super Bowl run. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these trade rumors? Do you think they should go all in for a star like McDonald? Or maybe take a risk on someone like Phillips? Or do you believe they should stand pat and trust what they already have? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys themselves. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, So stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news, analysis, and all the insider info you need to keep your fandom fired up. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, go Cowboys!